Morning everybody, Nigel Hawks, Hawkeye Traders, July the 5th, and before I get into the subject matter of come on guys, you can trade like this, just want to have a quick recap. Last week, great week on the S&P, up 70 points. If you remember, what we'd been talking about in previous newsletters to you was the dotted lines on the daily showing you the congestion areas, and also the congestion areas on the 240, clear breakout, and up it went. So there was a great trade last week for you. Probably didn't hold it into the long weekend. Now, what I really also want to show you is these longer term trades, and being able to trade weekly, and particularly on the currencies. But I want to show you a couple of setups that have come in on cotton. Cotton has given us a new short. You can see that on the weekly chart we have a red dot for the trend now. It's broken down underneath the Hawkeye stop area, and you can see that we're also in downtrend on the daily. So that is an entry. Let's monitor this and we will look at it over the next few weeks. You can see that the volume is all red on the daily, it's red on the weekly, and on the monthly you can see what we have. We have red volume, we have two bars of white volume on the monthly, but we also have that lovely pivot high behind us, and you can see that the Hawkeye trend dot is rolling over. So again, there's enough there. As I keep saying to you, we're trading three things: risk, to be able to take control of your emotions, and to have an edge, which I believe is Hawkeye. Let's just look at the ES again, and we'll have a look at that on the weekly daily. You know, all the pundits out there with all this bad news keep saying this is going to go down, this is going to go down. I read a newsletter today from somebody who we used to work with, and you know, just doom and gloom out there. Yeah, one day they will be right. There will be a big move down. But till then, this market is looking incredibly strong. Retail sales, if you look at that, powering up. We're nearly at new all-time highs on the retail sales index. So yes, there are major problems in the economy, but the bulls are still out there, and this is still pushing itself up. Now, what I'm really wanting to get you to trade are the currencies, and if we can get you to trade these currencies on a longer period, you can make substantial money. And you can do this even if you have a small account. You can still take this in and do these trades, and I just want to take you through them and just show you these setups. I'm going to take the daily and I'm going to take the monthly away and just show you weekly setups on this. Now remember that the roadkill indicator is there only to show you entries. It's not there to show you the exits, it's just to show you the entries. So if we start going through these trades, you can see that the Aussie dollar, which is the red line right down here, started to rise from its oversold. This is a weekly fat man. Remember, all you have to do is just hit the weekly button on the icon, and that changes every indicator within the fat man. And for those who are new to Hawkeye, each color represents a different currency. So here we have the red, which is the Aussie dollar, starting to rise against the blue, the Scion, which is the US dollar, declining. Boom, there was our entry that came in there. Now I should just put this up. I did this so that we had a little bit more room. Let me just put the right axis on. So you can see that here it's gone all the way up from about 85 to 106. I mean, that's huge amounts of money. And again, that's what the fund managers do. They're not looking at the the 3 minute, the 5 minute, etc. They're holding these. Okay, you've got to have wide stops, but once you're up here, you're in a free trade virtually anyway, so let these ones run. Let's have a look at the British pound. And you can see again that has gone up, but it's in great chop now. It's in its congestion zone up here, going sideways. bias is still to the upside. If we look at the Canadian, which is the yellow, so you can see that was in a highly oversold area here, and very interestingly, you would not have elected to take this trade. Why? Because the scion, the blue, is going up as well. You don't want them both going in the same directions. And right there, this has just not been elected. So no trade on the Canadian. The euro, which has a lot of punch on it as far as intraday movement, you can see again there we have the blue line coming down, the green line going up. You could have got in there, 10 big points. This is huge movements, and that's why you started to trade these currencies, because you read all the advertising blurb from all the stockbrokers or the FX brokers saying, big trends, etc., etc. Well, there are big trends, but you've got to hold these trends. And again, here we would not have elected that one off Fatman. Why? Because the magenta line, which is the yen, is going down in the same direction, just not interested. There it starts to rise, and you can just see the chop that went through there. So that hasn't been elected. Swiss franc, beautiful trade. Look at this one. I mean, you only need to get in these trades to make some substantial amount of money, and once you're in a free trade and it's going, just let it run and you'll get stopped out on your profit targets. Put the Hawkeye levels on, or the Hawkeye ATRs, and you'll see that this goes all the way up. Now, what I wanted to show you was, as the white line is coming down here, which is the Swiss franc, you can see that the dollar is bottoming out down the bottom. You're still in this trade, but you do have a couple of months of sideways chop, and then it starts to go off again from this point here. And that's why I say to you, it's very important that you look at the Fatman for your entry, and you look at the Hawkeye money management system for your exits, whether it be a profit target or for the stops to take you out of a minus trade. So there we are. Look at the cotton trade. A brand new trade this week on cotton. And again, the other thing, I'm just looking at my notes that I wanted to show you, was also on the gold. We have a potential setup. Let me just get this out of the way now. Remember that we've been looking for a possibility for a re-entry on gold. Again, the Elliott Wave boys are saying this is going all the way back down again to the 1200 areas. Let's wait and see if they're right. But if we look at this, you can see, live edge of the market, that we have come down here. There's a little bit of red volume that came through, but you can see that the stops are flat, and quite often, and those Hawkeye users that have been around some time will know that when the price comes down to the stop, it quite often acts as a very good resistance area. We have that. We have, again, the daily starting to round off into its congestion. So hopefully by this time next week when I talk to you, we will be in an uptrend. And again, on copper, which shows what the market is doing, we have a daily buy-in here against the weekly trend, but we have some green volume that came in on the week last week. So all in all, it's going to be an interesting week. Good hunting, and see you in the trading room on Friday. Bye-bye.